Hello, brothers and sisters of the left-hand path. Welcome back to Plutosophia. I am Dr. Murphy, and today is Tuesday, still Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. And this is another video on entropy. And the title of this lecture is Entropy as Spellcraft, Weaving the Abyss into Will. Okay, so in the previous video, we started talking about entropy and coming to understand entropy as a solvent of form and the death force that paradoxically liberates us. So at this point, perhaps you are asking, okay, so must I simply dissolve? Is this what I am to do? Well, no, absolutely not. You are not to become nothing. You are to become everything you choose. Okay, this was the point I was trying to make in the previous video. It's not just about breaking things down and watching the universe die and just sitting there in the void of nothingness. That's boring. What is the point of that? Right? We're talking about the left-hand path, the path of Luciferianism and Satanism. And yes, the hedonistic aspects that come with that. It is about pleasure and enjoyment. Or in the very least, at least building towards that, towards a state where you can enjoy these things and have pleasure and enjoyment. So, no, you are not to dissolve and become nothing. But that is the first step. You must dissolve your ego, because that's a false ego for you. It's not your true ego. It's you didn't actually build it. You've been brainwashed, most likely. And just because it's, the entire time that you have been in this reality, it's just non-stop programming and brainwashing and gaslighting. And, all of this stuff is coming from the establishment, the authority, those who are pulling the strings here. And it also comes from the right-hand path religious establishment. So all of that, you must dissolve that self, dissolve that ego, and then you're going to build a new ego. Right? It's not about giving up the ego. No. Of course, you need an ego. You need an identity. You need to be somebody who can enjoy things. You have to do this. But you want to make sure that you are establishing your own order that is in your image, in line with your vision, that you are pursuing things that you actually like and want, and you are creating your own flame that you are in control of, so that you are a sovereign being. Black magic, black alchemy, everything Plutosophia does, the Infernal Order, it's all about gaining power, but it has to be sovereign power. You can gain power through the right-hand path, of course, but you'll always be submissive, and you will have light, but it won't be your light, so it won't be your power. So this next stage is about crafting your own order forged from the ruins of the world that you watched burn down, right? So we speak of the vampire, right? Not as that blood-sucking Hollywood character or the character that Bram Stoker wrote about. We're talking about the vampire of the Infernal Order of Plutosophia and other left-hand path systems. Not a being that drinks blood, but a kind of superhuman being that feeds off of energy. This is like a psychic, spiritual, esoteric, metaphysical energy vampire. Most of everything in the cosmos, most are results of the cosmos. So most are results of it, and the cosmos is the cause. Now, what we want to do, again, paradoxically, is that we want to become the cause. The traditional humans, let's call them, the muggles, if you will, they are thermodynamic debris. They're products of entropy that they do not understand. And I doubt very much that they even want to understand or know about this stuff. But the Vampyre metaphysician is a constructor within the entropy field. So you change how you think of things. Chaos is raw clay, right? It's something you're going to work with. You embrace it. The will is the sculptor. That's you, but it's not all of you. It's really what is most important is your will. That is what can survive. That is what can create change and cause the cosmos. And the self is the statue. And the key, well, again, is coming back to the will. The will is the key. The key is that the will must burn brighter than all of the surrounding decay. Only the will is capable of surviving entropy and surviving death. So let us look at chaos magic and entropic inversion. So chaos magic, thermodynamic warfare. Right, let's be very pragmatic with this, very scientific, right? When I keep mentioning metaphysics and infernal metaphysics, I'm talking about metaphysical science, real stuff, not just woo-woo kind of hippy-dippy stuff. I mean, taking metaphysics and actually applying it and experimenting with it. This then becomes metaphysical science. Symbols themselves are entropy-resistant carriers of will. The sigil is a structure of intention embedded in the chaos field. The magical ritual is a quantum entanglement device. It collapses infinite probabilities into one, just like with the double slit experiment, where you have electrons that are acting as waves, yet when you focus your attention upon them, they collapse into particles. Same thing, when you meditate and you have this stream of consciousness and it's very chaotic and you can't control it, and you meditate and you activate the third eye and you feel the pressure at the third eye chakra, your thoughts collapse and you feel the pressure there. And it's like your entire mind collapses into that point. This is the same thing. And this is the same thing that happens when you're performing magic or alchemy, or any kind of energy work or manipulation or vampirism, right? It's about collapsing those waves. Or even if you get into quantum mechanics and quantum physics and multiverse theory, right? There's an infinite number of possibilities. And so maybe what you're doing through magic is choosing one of those and then collapsing all of the potential realities into one, which is your reality. Right? You could think of magic as working this way. When a vampire performs a working, they aren't asking, right? This isn't the right-hand path. We're not praying and begging and pleading. No, they are rewriting probability. They are inverting entropy locally, however briefly, but they are doing it. I mean, this is what magic is. You are defying physics. You're creating impossibilities, even miracles, some would say. Even if for a brief time, but it's possible. And this is what black magicians do and black alchemists do. Metaphysicians of the left-hand path, of Plutosophia, this is what they do. There are places even where you felt these things. These places we call entropic nexuses. They're places of power. They are where the veil thins. Places such as cemeteries, haunted ruins, decaying churches, crumbling cities, abandoned buildings, right? They all have a kind of weird feeling, and some of them feel charged and electrified. So if you've ever been to these places and experienced this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But then you may ask yourself, well, why do they feel so charged? It's because of entropy. Entropy is peaking here. Form is breaking down. So in a way, these are natural altars to left-hand path magicians. You can think of them as portals or gateways. And to stand in such a nexus is to step into the bloodstream of the abyss. You are stepping into that whirlpool of chaos. And what this allows is for you to not just cast spells here, but to move beyond that and become the spell. Your body itself is not merely flesh. It is a ritual site. It is a sacrificial engine. Yes, perhaps, as they say, your death is guaranteed, but it can be delayed, it can be redirected, and here's what's important, it can be harnessed. Each breath is a thermodynamic trade, right? You're trading heat for thought, decay for desire. But again, like that tidal wave, right? Entropy, death, chaos. You don't want to stop these things or try to stop them or fight against them. You want to ride them. You want to harness them and utilize them, flow with them. And so this is something that the Vampyre metaphysician does very well. They act as a battery, storing entropy. They act as a transmitter, casting their will through performing energy work and manipulation, vampirism, performing magic, right? When you're performing magic, you are acting as a transmitter. And they are also, through their alchemy, acting as a crucible, burning off their false identities, performing that blackening, the greater stage of alchemy, the dissolution. Now, in controlling your body in this way, you are controlling the site of your own becoming, of your own rebirth. And so this brings us to a concept with a very cool name, in my opinion, death magic. So death magic is the final transmutation. Death is not the end, right? When we say death is a coming, remember Lord Pluto, the demon of black alchemy. He is death, the sovereign of death, but he's also the sovereign of life. Because there's the duality, the great Lord Baphomet. Okay, the law of polarity, life and death. When you have death, this is alchemy, this is ending, this is tearing down old orders. We will, of course, have a new life and new order coming. Death is not the end, of course. It is the ultimate entropy event. But what if death could be stolen from, withstood, or even directed like a spell, right? See, you don't always have to stop or destroy or eliminate things. Magicians understand this of the left-hand path. Magicians of the left-hand path understand this. They can direct things. They can channel things. They can store things. Necrosophy is the study of how entropy post-mortem can still be used. So it's interesting. We can think of ghosts, whatever these things are, but we can think of them as thermodynamic echoes. And something like vampiric resurrection is simply having a will so strong that it defies dissolution. A strong enough will, right? This is the key, having a strong will. This is the key to all of this. A strong enough will haunts the system, the matrix, the cosmic matrix. That abyss is a mirror. You're not staring into nothing. In staring into the abyss, you're staring back at yourself. You're gazing into your future self, your potential selves. Multiverse theory. So let us gaze into the abyss, not with dread, but with curiosity. For if entropy dissolves all things, then all forms lie latent within it. So I'm going to say that one more time. For if entropy dissolves all things, then all forms lie latent within it. The abyss is not emptiness. It is potential unbound. That's why in Plutosophia and in these videos, I always talk about chaos, this totally destructive force, and hell, and descending the steps into hell and walking through the forbidden gates of hell into the hellfire, the chaos of hell. It's so destructive. but there's unlimited potential there. And with unlimited potential, you can do anything, including apotheosis. So you have to take this path if you want self-deification. To becoming a living God, you have to take the left-hand path. At least according to my perspective and my opinion. But the philosophy of Plutosophia sees it this way. The abyss is not emptiness, it's potential unbound. The vampire, metaphysician, magician, alchemist who stares into it does not fall. They find themselves reflected back. Again, you are not looking into nothing. You are looking into the unborn form of what you are becoming. Let's try a little interstellar occultism and think of black holes as vampire gods. Because black holes are the most entropic objects in existence. They consume all structure, all light, all form, everything they consume. They are sucking like everything. And they also store information on their event horizons, but they emit nothing. They are like a black sun. But they're pulling in so much information and energy that they're full of information and energy. But that's the black flame, that's the black sun. All right, and this is called the black hole information paradox, but I really see this connection between that and the black sun and the black flame and the left-hand path, vampire metaphysician. Right? A black hole and a vampire, what do they have in common? They are both creatures, if you will, if I may use that word, who consume and remember. So the vampire is like a living black hole, always consuming energy and preserving knowledge. The final apotheosis may be to collapse utterly and become an information-dense singularity of self. Right? You can see the parallels, how it all begins to connect. Always about becoming that singularity through meditation, through magic, through yoga. To sum this up, to end this video, entropy is not your enemy within the left-hand path. It is the quill, it is the pen with which you write your own deification. You begin as ash. We all begin as ash. But those who are successful upon the left-hand path rise as flame and they rule as shadow. Again, to become God, to have this apotheosis, it is not about defying entropy. You cannot do that. But rather channeling it, directing it, working with it, transmuting it through alchemy, composing symphonies from its collapse. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this second video on entropy. So again, I am Dr. Murphy. I'm the Infernal Hierophant and founder of Plutosophia. You can learn more about us by visiting plutosophia.com. We're also on X at Plutosophia. And you can check our info in the description. We also have a blog. There are plans to add more to that, as well as to the X Twitter account. But if you enjoy our videos, please subscribe and give us a like if you did like it. And also, I encourage some good discussion and debate within the comments. All I ask is that you have good manners and be respectful of each other. All right, have an infernally blessed day or night, wherever you happen to find yourself. I will see you all in the next video.